Hi, this is Scott Welch, Muscle Insider Magazine. We are here with David Whalen from Naked Brands. How are you doing today, David?
I'm doing great, Scott. Thank you very much.
Naked, that's an edgy name for a supplement company. How did you come up with that?
Honestly, it's just an amalgamation of my experiences within the industry. I wanted something that would be speak to transparency, speak to being an ultra clean brand, premium brand. That was free from all the marketing fluff and misleading claims and things that I sort of witnessed along my journey within the industry.
Now, the journey along the industry, I understand you were studying at Ryerson University to become a dietitian. Take me
Mhm.
through that and all the things that you did through that and how your career went from that into the industry.
At the time when I was finishing up high school, trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I realized that, as a young athlete, really the key was nutrition. So it took me to applying and obviously entering into Ryerson University, their food nutrition program, which was sort of a program that would lead into dietetics. My focus was there. I found that, sports nutrition, obviously, as an athlete was a big interest, research and development, marketing. There was a lot of great courses that we had. So that was sort of, my focus at the time. I didn't find that, the dietitian side of it was something that I was overly passionate about, but getting into sports nutrition was really, really a huge focus for me. That later on led me to working for GNC. I was there for 6 years, and then I helped a distributor here in Canada sort of get their feet wet, peak performance, and working with a number of key brands here in Canada. So you may be familiar with Diamond-Ties. Helped bring BPI to Canada and help them grow within Canada originally. Himalaya Healthcare, which is a big global brand. A number of those products and big name brands that we brought to Canada. And I was there for about 10 years. Ended up at Iovate for a period of time and then eventually working with Fit Foods, who is well known for Mutant and North Coast Naturals, and as well as PBL.
So you were on the sales side. So you had to go out there and get this product on the shelf, fully
Mhm.
well knowing the sort of science and chemistry behind the ingredients, how they work, how the body works. And then you had to educate the retailers on exactly how this product works. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, with all of those experiences, it's really cool that I had the opportunity to see how the retail side with GNC and working as a store manager, a staff member, the brands pitching themselves to me and then speaking to consumers, then having the opportunity as a distributor to understand what it takes to work with product margins and bringing them into the country, selling them to the stores. What makes those brands sort of effective and unique in their own ways. And then eventually working with bigger companies that are sort of manufacturers that are building their own brands. So understanding what it's like on the marketing side, on the production floor. It's been great to sort of have all of those experiences along with my education to sort of bring it all together.
Now, you must have over your career, I believe, you work with Jay Cutler. What was that like? What is Jay Cutler like for those of us who've never, well, some of the people out there who may have never met him?
I've actually had the opportunity to travel with two of the most prominent Mr. Olympias, both Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler, both incredible individuals, both owning their own brands. Honestly, I spent a week on the road with both Ronnie Coleman and Jay Cutler. And the one thing that I would say is that their work ethic is not just in the gym. They're by far the hardest working, of our whole road travel team. Ronnie this is right before his injuries, or sorry, before his surgeries that people have seen now. And Ronnie was still, training every day, working 12 hours a day, taking flights, and both of them very genuine, very honest, very sincere. I still talk to Jay on a regular, and he's an incredible guy. Honestly, Jay is so much more than a bodybuilder, and really lends so much to the industry itself. It was a great experience for myself to have that sort of time one-on-one and get to talk and learn and ask questions. So yeah, great experience.
Now, why did you decide to get in the supplement industry and start Naked Brands? I mean, obviously you've taken all your experiences, but why? Why didn't you just stay doing what you've been doing?
With all due respect to honestly everybody in the industry, the challenge that I see is there's a lot of people that go to the gym. A lot of brands are started by guys with money. So there's a lot of these brands that you see, they have money, but they don't actually use the product. They don't actually believe or train. So there's that side of it. So there's some big brands that, you see these owners, you're like, how are you even creating a supplement brand? And you realize it's just about money for them. And then you get the guys that are really passionate about the gym and fitness, and they start a brand, but they don't have the background of the education to really create a product that, at least for myself, made sense. I would find holes. At the end of the day, I wanted a product that I could take, that I could trust. And I was in the process of having children at the time. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have it on my counter, I want to be able to give it to my child with confidence, and maybe even my grandparents or my parents or somebody. I want to be able to recommend it to you, Scott, and say, you know what, buddy, like, this is a phenomenal protein or a phenomenal collagen creamer that you can trust on all levels. That's really what I wanted. I wanted, like, it's hard to know, and again, not sounding arrogant by any means, it's really hard to know everything that I do know from my experience in education and mentoring with some of the best herbal master herbalists in the industry and some of the best formulators. It's hard to know all this stuff and margins and ingredients and then come out with a for lack of better language, a half-assed product. It's hard to come out with something that you feel just isn't there. And there's a lot of that out there. There's a lot of people cutting corners. And so Naked really is about, I just can't do it less. And if I could do better, I would. If I knew better, I would. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm not saying our products are, there's nothing better out there. There might be, but if I know how to make it better, then I will make it better. And that's kind of where we're at, as transparent as I possibly can be.
Now, in terms of your first product is launched a number of years ago, the Calorie Plus Shake is what I would call a meal replacement shake. And obviously in Canada, you're sort of, you got to skirt around that issue that's there. But at that time you struggled in the marketplace. Is that simply because the quality of what was in it was so high, the price was so high, that it kind of, the market may not have been ready for something like that? Or how would you sort of look back at that, the launch of Naked? Because you've obviously evolved the company as the years have gone by.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. So, it adds to the journey and making great product and making a better brand. So with Calorie Plus Shake, I wanted this incredible formula. I wanted this, the best of the best meal replacement. And unfortunately, at the time, the industry wasn't ready for that level of quality. And why I say that is that really the only method of being successful was selling through GNC in Canada, as well as Popeyes and Supplement King and some of the other retailers.
Yeah.
But to have a product of that quality and for everybody to be successful as a business, eventually you're just pricing yourself out of the market and you just can't sell it. So, it didn't do as well as it should have. And now with direct to consumer, it's now I can take products that are such high quality and get it to the consumer, because web sales are so much they're prominent now. And that really, not that it wasn't an option, it just wasn't a big option or wasn't something that everyone was familiar with at the time. So it's nice to be able to take it. The Calorie Plus Shake you mentioned, somebody that I respect a lot in the industry has quoted it as being the Ferrari of protein powders. And for better or for worse, I've made it even better now. So yeah.
Now, this has been phenomenal in terms of the successes that I've seen. You guys are on fire. And what I'm really excited about is this product here, the collagen creamer that you guys have made. And I mean, I'm somebody who has a coffee every morning like everybody else, and you sweeten it. But what I've been loving about this is being able to flavor my coffee and actually get some nutrition in here. Can you take me through some of the nutrition here? Because there's a lot of collagens out there. What makes your collagen creamer different, better, etc.?
Well, number one, to my knowledge, we're the only collagen product out there that actually utilizes a probiotic. So to have a collagen product that you can put in a coffee hot, or you can put in ice cream or into yogurt cold, and the probiotic be stable and efficacious, safe, et cetera, et cetera. It's the most researched and proven probiotic in our food industry, in terms of being able to put that into food products that you're using on a daily. So is a powder ingredient. So that's number one. All of our key ingredients are collagen, our MCTs, which the C8 Advantage I'll get to in a second, which is an amazing product, and our probiotic. They're all patent trademark ingredients. So even our collagen, which unfortunately when we reached out to the manufacturer, they don't let brands put their logos and stuff on the product. Sure. One of the things we like to do is include the trademarks on a product. So our collagen is the number one collagen that you can buy globally. It's an amazing collagen. It's a hydrolyzed bovine collagen, grass-fed, et cetera, incredible collagen. Mm-hmm. And then thirdly, we use the MCTs from NNB Nutrition, which is the C8 Advantage. Okay. And that's, combining all those things together is incredible. The C8 Advantage really, again, adds that efficacy and adds that reliability to our product, in saying that we're actually telling the consumer exactly where their MCTs are coming from and exactly which MCTs they're getting. So the C8 Advantage is C8 MCTs. And if anybody's familiar, the C is the number of carbons in that molecular chain. So this is a non-GMO product. It's a sustainable product. It's a quality product. They don't use maltodextrin as a plating ingredient, which is really important. And C8 MCTs are highly ketogenic, considered high energy fats. And so you'll see, again, this goes back to even my time at Ryerson when I was studying and working at Sick Kids Hospital. MCTs, the value of them is that there's very little digestion needed by the liver. So essentially, these are almost absorbed right through the intestinal system, and you don't need the liver to process it. And why that's important is anybody that has a compromised system or compromised digestion, or they're in a medically compromised situation, MCTs are really important. You'll find them in like medical meal replacements. And so we use them in all of our current products. But the C8 Advantage is important in that the consumer knows exactly what they're buying. They can go and research it. They can find out that information. So answering your question, our collagen basically kicks ass. Honestly, there's like, I haven't found anything that's comparable. And I don't, again, try to say that arrogantly. We've gone out and researched and done and added the best possible ingredients to it. It tastes amazing. It mixes well. It's not chalky, etc. It's just an incredible product all around.
Now, one of the things you talked about was MCT, typical MCT oil powder, mm-hmm. And for the benefits of the consumer out there, what's interesting is that about 60 to 70% of MCT MCT powder is actually MCTs, and you have 30 to 40% is actually maltodextrin, mm-hmm. and a dairy protein that's there, because mm-hmm. the powder itself has to come from somewhere. I mean, MCT oil is an oil, so the mm-hmm. oil has to be sprayed onto a powder. The mm-hmm. difference here with C8 Advantage is they've used a tapioca fiber that will not spike insulin, and mm-hmm. then they have a version of this that is a pea protein. Mm-hmm. So it's a non-dairy. They have a dairy version, but they have mm-hmm. a non-dairy version. That's my number one preference, is the non-dairy version.
That's the one we use in our product as well. Not to cut you off, but that's the one we use in our product as well, as the pea protein version. So
phenomenal. So the other thing that's interesting is liquid MCT oils. I believe it's 55% C8. Mm-hmm. So in all MCT oils, you're going to get a C6, a C8, a C10, a C12, and then you're going to get long chain fatty acids. And as you mentioned, the longer the carbon length, the longer it takes to digest. Now you could go with and in terms of MCT, you can go with a C6. The trouble with a C6 is that it is faster absorbing than a C8, but it causes a lot of gastrointestinal distress. So you cannot buy, that I'm aware of, any C6 on its own. And if you do, the acidity is going to be causing a lot of gut problems. So you generally will not see this. C Advantage by NNB Nutrition, what I love about it is 98% of it is actually the C8, hence the name C Advantage. So you're getting a fast digesting MCT, which is going to produce ketones quicker. It's going to be faster acting, etc. And they do the research and quality control on this. So it's really good to see that ingredient is there, combining with a probiotic. So you're kind of getting a shot of protein. You're getting fats with it that are fast acting fat. And then you're getting a probiotic in here for gut health, immunity, and things like that. That's kind of is that the cornerstone of the product?
Yeah, I would say that brings it all together. I think, when you're mentioning the MCTs, as the brand being transparent and being clean and being real and upfront, one of the biggest challenges that I find in the industry is that, companies put on their labels, they have collagen or they have MCTs or they have whey protein, for example. But how do you really know where it's coming from? How do you really know, MCTs, for example, as you mentioned, there's all these different MCTs in an oil product. How do you actually know that it's what the company's telling you? Because no one's actually testing it unless the brand is testing it, and the brands, like our probiotic we test and our C8 we test, so unless the brand is putting it on their label and actually testing and actually telling you, as a consumer, you don't know.
That's right.
There's like, if you look at our Calorie Plus shake, we actually call out the brand of colostrum that we use. We went out and bought the best possible colostrum. I don't know any other, even professional line that actually says where the colostrum comes from. And in our collagen creamer, we actually tell the consumer, this is where the probiotic is, this is where the MCTs are, and they know exactly what they're buying. And that's part of the brand Naked, right? We wanted to be as real as possible and provide the best possible ingredients. So yeah, it's a cool product and I love it.
Okay, so we see it in the bags here. How many servings are in a container?
There's 30 servings. So It is a big bag. It's a big bag, and it's but I wanted to provide value for the consumer, and I wanted to make sure that they got that full month supply. But
these scoops are cool. I mean, this is like aerodynamic, reminds me of my head, upside down. But 2 scoops. I mean, I made the mistake of actually only putting 1 in because I saw 1 scoop, but it's actually 2 scoops. But what's surprising is when I use just 1 scoop, it obviously will last a little bit longer, and it flavored the product nicely on that. But I've been able to take this, combine it with whey protein, combine it with different things that are here. I've heard of it being flavored in yogurt. I haven't tried that yet myself. But what is a typical, when is the best time to use something like this?
Honestly, all protein has value. So, whether it be chicken or whey or collagen, et cetera, there's all value to it. So, for myself, I use this product in coffee and in tea and in yogurt. I add it to shakes. Really, it's endless. You don't have to be stuck with using coffee. Some people don't like coffee. Some people don't want the caffeine, et cetera. You can put it in your tea before bed. It just gives you another opportunity to get protein into the system. Collagen is incredible for skin health and joint health and numerous other things. Lots of research behind it. So definitely check that out. But, because this is a dairy-free product and a sugar-free product and keto and gluten-free and peanut-free and go down the list, you could really use it at any time. And we put 2 scoops because, there could be younger people, even putting a little bit into your child's product or something like that. We've designed it so that you don't have to use a big scoop to get clinically effective dosages, so that people are getting 9 grams of the C Advantage, which is amazing. 11 grams of the collagen, and then you're also getting 2 billion CFU of the probiotic, which all the ingredients have amazing clinical trials behind it, human clinical trials. So great ingredients, great product.
So you can use this if you're on a keto diet. It'll keep you in ketosis still. But if you're not on keto, you can do this as a way to just jack up your protein level, obviously your MCT oil intake. So it could work for for a meal replacement powder. Even if you're trying to gain obviously throwing a scoop of it into a gainer for the bodybuilders out there. Now, it's in an NSF certified facility. What the heck does that mean? I mean, we get all these acronyms, GMP and this and then NSF and NPN and all this sort of stuff.
Mhm.
What does an NSF facility mean? Where this
Essentially, NSF is the number one certifying body for, things like baby food, manufacturing. They even certify water, and it ensures that you're not ingesting anything that's not above board. So, the Olympic Committee is very familiar with NSF, and they recognize that as a way to ensure that their athletes are not getting, any products or ingredients that would harm their competition. It adds quality. The manufacturer cannot release any products to us unless they meet label claim, unless we're being 100% with what we're making. So when I request a formula and I give them a formula to make, they can't fudge anything, which is a big deal. So not only am I held to an accountability by the manufacturer, we also, both between the manufacturer and I, we send the product out to get third-party testing, which takes roughly 14 days. And the reason being is we test everything on all of our products, from macronutrients, micronutrients, heavy metals, all of our allergens. So anytime we make a claim like dairy-free or gluten-free or peanut-free or soy-free, shellfish-free, all of the, egg-free, which is all in our packaging, we send it out to make sure that it's tested and it meets those claims. And we cannot release the product to the consumer until it matches everything. So I even know the actual amino acid profile of our finished product. So that's important, because we don't just take the raw material supplier's word for it. We actually go and test to make sure that, the product, the finished product, actually meets our requirements and has all the required amino acids. And again, it's about being transparent.
For sure. What is next? I mean, you guys are a huge pathway. I've seen some of the product pipeline. What is next? We're going behind the brand. What is ahead of the brand of Naked?
So a couple big things. We actually recently decided on a partnership with Sick Kids Hospital.
Nice.
So again, it kind of takes back to my university days, and essentially we are, giving a portion of our profits to Sick Kids to support children in need. And then we have a number of products that are sort of in the pipeline. We have, without releasing too much, but we have looked at the hydration category. We've looked at the pre-workout category. We've looked at, a number of other protein products. The challenge for me is that I work with some amazing brands, and there are some incredible companies out there. So I don't want to do anything that goes after any brand I've ever worked for,
Sure.
right? So just for integrity purposes. Secondly, if I feel like somebody is doing it really, really well and I want to play in that category, then I've got to be better than what exists. So looking at the pre-workout category, there's a lot of Me Too out there, and I'd love to have a pre-workout. I'd love to have a hydration product. Those are things I would like to look at, but I'm not going to do it unless it's the absolute best that it can possibly be, and that I'm better than what exists out there. And that's the truth of the matter. There's lots of cool things I've formulated, but right now the focus is maybe some additional flavors and really continuing on the great attention that we're getting now as a brand, and growing and supplying our consumers with great product.
Phenomenal. Okay, so now for consumers who want to get their hands on the best of the best, obviously, where can they go to find out more about you? Obviously, you're on Instagram. What's your website? Like, throw it out there.
Yeah, so definitely hook us up on Facebook or Instagram. It's Get Naked, so @Get, and then you'll see Get Naked. It's a great play on words, but
and
great,
it's with
great.
the number 8. That's the thing. It's just like in your banner behind you right now. It's the N8KED, pronounced naked, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, the banner behind us was our original logo in 2014, and in 2020 we moved to our new logo, which everybody's loving. It's been great feedback. So definitely hook us up on Instagram, Facebook. Get Naked is our Instagram and Facebook page, and then really easy. Just go to www.naked.com. Email us, sign up for our e-newsletter. We got some cool stuff coming, a new ebook, new
Nice.
product launches, lots of good stuff, and education on our ingredients. There's more and more coming every day, but definitely www.naked.com, and then Get Naked on all of our social media channels. Even YouTube, if you want to see some of the stuff behind the scenes, definitely check that out. But more and more coming, and I'm grateful for all the support, including yourself, Scott. Obviously you're a wealth of knowledge within an industry, and it's great to be a part of this.
Well, it's really great to see that you combine the background you have in nutrition and dietetics, the interest that you have as an athlete, but then the moral compass that you always hold yourself on to want to produce efficacious products that aren't just looking at the profits, which obviously I applaud what you're doing. For those of you out there, you definitely got to check out David's product line with Naked Brands. And I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today, David.
Thank you, Scott. It's been amazing. And I hope you have an incredible day.
Yeah, awesome.
Cheers, brother.
Okay, get naked. Not now, just after.